Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Special Pass here on Buzzfish Games. I'm your host and Light Excited ADV. Joining me is the one, the only Buzzman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, I am happy to be here on this Monday evening. We just had a great recording with Boss Rush Spotlight podcast, which you'll probably be seeing sometime in the near future if you're listening to this. We just got done recording with Way Forward, and it was really awesome. So I can't say enough good things about them, man. Like, I really can't. They're incredible. Thank you again, Adam and James, for coming on. I know maybe you're probably not listening to this, but it's okay. I still want to thank you anyway. It's incredible. They're so great. They've been so good to us. You know.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, so you guys would be able to check that out. But if you want to get,
I thought you were dying like 3 separate times, Ed.
Well, shoot, Jay said that his soul went to the sky too for part of the discussion for us of the game. You guys have to check it out. If you guys want to hear it in advance, though, sign up for our Patreon. You get it a little bit early access. Get to hear it before it goes for everybody. Get that good content. So you can go to bossfish.net and check out our Patreon and sign up.
Yeah, they're so good. Anyways, we're not here to gush over Way Forward anymore. Promise. Anyways, go ahead, Ed. Sorry.
Yes, but we have kind of got into the showcase era of this week. At the time of this recording, there's going to be Summer Game Fest, Xbox Game Showcase, the host on Direct. Capcom just announced that they're doing one. So probably by the time you guys see this, those showcases and stuff will have been out. We'll probably be having articles and discussions about them. So do check out buzzfish.net for that material. But on Nintendo Life, they asked the question, do you think we'll see a Nintendo Direct at the end of this month? And personally, for me, I don't think so. But Corey, you said something else.
Yeah, I think we'll see Nintendo in some capacity. It's just we don't really know what's coming after Pikmin, right? I mean, we know a few things like the Bat and Kados Origins collection and a couple other things, but like overall, we don't really know what's coming. And I think maybe, I don't know if Nintendo's like waiting. Maybe we'll see something in July. I'm not 100% sure, but I just I think we're going to see Nintendo in some capacity. You know, the Switch has a lot of life left, right? I mean, my thoughts are spring 2025 is their next console, so they got to fill, a little under 2 years full of, hopefully GameCube remasters as great as Metroid Prime, and there's still 2 HD Zelda games that need ported over, and Xenoblade Chronicles X. There's plenty of things I could list that say, hey, please bring these over. And, I mean, you look at GameCube and Wii specifically, and we've had this discussion a little bit where, like, I think Nintendo knows that the Switch is almost done, especially from like I think they might fast track production on their next console, just based not necessarily because the Switch is underpowered. It's a security issue at this point, right? I mean, you see so many, Metroid Dread and Breath of the Wild being the big ones right now. Although people are starting to just nonchalantly throw Tears of the Kingdom up for, 4K 60 frames a second with ray tracing, which is great. I would love to see that on a Nintendo console, but people are pirating it and editing the code and making it, quote unquote better for their experience on PC, and it's kind of disturbing. So I would like to think the Switch has that much time left, and I have no problem with it, because like Tears of the Kingdom right now obviously is a masterpiece. Pikmin, I'm sure, is going to be great. I mean, the Switch has a killer library of games that I just, I don't ever want this generation to end, really, in a sense. But also, I realize that whatever Nintendo does next, I hope it's just as good or even better. But I
Yeah.
think I think we have to see something for them to show what's coming, because we still have a second half of the year to fill out, and you're not going to release one first party game in the second half of the year with Pikmin, right? So, um,
Right. And I
although
know.
although Ed, although they do have Everybody 1-2 Switch, which could be
I know
game of
what
the
to
year.
say.
You know,
I was just about to say that. And we still don't know what they got with Platinum, what they got with Bandai Namco, what they got with Koei Tecmo. They may have something with Konami. They may have something with Capcom. They may have something with Way Forward. We don't know. They like Mercury Steam. They may have something. Square Enix. They may have something. Like, we don't know what the rest of the year will provide. Um, but I think we need a partners direct for them, because I think we won't get the full. I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be the game at Gamescom. Like, that's going to be the reveal, and people are going to get to play it.
I don't know.
it
Nintendo goes to Gamescom, but they usually show things that are really already announced and shown off in a real capacity, right? I mean,
mm,
what was the last major thing they showed off at Gamescom, and not E3 slash spring or summer showcase direct thing, right? Like, what I mean, really, what was the last thing at Gamescom? I mean, I don't get me wrong, I like Gamescom. I think there's going to be a lot of great stuff announced there, especially like from the European studios.
mm,
Especially now that Jeff Keighley is kind of in charge of it and E3 is no longer here. Like, I think Gamescom is going to become a bigger thing, uh, along with Summer Game Fest, obviously. But um, I don't know. I think Nintendo is kind of stuck in their ways a little bit. And obviously, Nintendo can just release a direct tomorrow and everybody would freak out, right? Or they could
right.
do it in the middle of July when everything's over and everybody would be like, "Oh, well, that's Nintendo stole the summer," and so they could do that too. So
Well,
I
I think
it's so funny. We try to predict things that happen with Nintendo, and it just kind of
right.
nobody knows.
Well, I think the thing with Nintendo is because of them making a big deal about Gamescom. So that's why I kind of feel like if they're going to make this like a big announcement, a big deal at Gamescom, Metro
Yeah.
Prime 4 would be the game to make the entrance a big splash. So it'll be something. I think Nintendo just like let everybody else announce what they do for the summer. Once we get done with Pikmin, and whatever DLC that we have, there's probably some secret Kirby game, in the works that we don't know about.
One.
Um, like, I think Nintendo's just like, once it hits Gamescom, we want to do it big. We want to do a Nintendo Direct, or we want to show off the games, and with Metroid Prime being the thing. We want to talk more about Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe there's some amiibo that we want to show. Maybe there's some stuff for 2024 that we're getting ready to announce and everything. Like, I think they want to do stuff like, because I don't think Fire Emblem Engage got DLC just yet. So,
Um. Well, it got an update. I don't know if it was DLC or not. By the way,
right.
man, I think. I mean, I actually think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a Game Awards thing. To be
Mm,
honest with you, uh, but we still have Mario Kart DLC that needs announced or shown off or whatever. Which, I mean, they could just tweet that out, I guess. We still have. I would still like. I bet You know what? The next direct I think is going to be is like a deep dive on Pikmin. I bet
yeah.
that seems like
Yeah.
a move that they would do. Um, but I would, man, I have a whole list of GameCube, Wii, and Wii U games that I think they should remaster and bring over, which could fill out that could fill out 18 months, right? So,
Right.
you could do. Gosh, although my one dream project or port would be the last story from Mistwalker. I don't know who
That
owns
would
it.
be, yeah, that one would be
that game is so good.
something. I think that would be something that would get some attention, but I think that would get like a quick hit announcement. Even though I would be like, "Oh, this is a re-release, a remaster one. Y'all doing it for Switch and it's physical.
Yeah,
Oh, I need the date. I need to pre-order this." Like,
that'd
I
be
think the moment they say pre-orders go live now, I think folks are going to be up pre-ordering it.
yeah. You know what would be cool too is if they did the same special edition they did for the Wii, where it came in that
Mm-hmm.
really like cool collector's box, and then they had the art
Oh
book and
heck yeah!
all that stuff with it. I think that would be super cool to do for that game. Although I don't know, it'd probably be just like a digital only release at this point. Which
I think
don't get me
they,
wrong, I'd
I
still
think they
buy it.
could.
But
I think they could do the digital first. Like they could do the digital first, and then if you want the collector's edition physical, it'll come out at a later date in a
mhm.
month, in a year. And I think people will order it and stuff. I definitely will be ordering it and everything. Um,
Yeah, I just
so
I mean, I would like to see that. I mean, obviously the Zelda games, obviously, um, you know, a lot of the GameCube stuff. Like, again, I don't know who owns what and how crazy the rights are for this, but like a Rogue Squadron HD,
mhm.
uh, like the second one in particular, uh, Luigi's Mansion, the first one, I think would be great. Uh, the entire Pikmin trilogy, the first two, I guess, would be
Yeah,
great. I think. What else am I thinking of? I'm trying to think of Wii games that. I mean, Mario Galaxy 2 still hasn't made its way over, right? So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot they could do. Um, what else? What else am I thinking of? Ed, help me out here. Yeah, I don't know. I think that Nintendo has. I think the Switch has a lot of life left, but I don't think with how close the next console is theoretically that they want to
mm,
put out. I mean, obviously, like I think the next Mario game or whatever the Odyssey team is working on will be a launch title for the next console. I think. Um, Obviously, we're not going to get another Zelda, a true Zelda game, right? I mean, we might get a remake or a remaster or something, but we're obviously Breath of or
yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom is it. Uh, I mean, that 2D Metroid, the rumor that Mercury Steam is working on another 2D Metroid would be great to see as like especially if they move Metroid Prime 4 at some point, or they're holding the other two remasters till next year. Like another 2D game would be awesome. Because man, Dread was so fun to play.
It is. Yeah.
As somebody who's not a huge Metroid guy, like Dread was so fun to play, and um, I'm just thinking of all the things they could possibly do. Would be awesome. So,
Well, I think outside of Nintendo, like I mentioned with all the other showcases, um, we gotta see what Capcom have planned for Nintendo. We gotta see in the Summer Games Fest what's gonna be announced for if they're gonna have anything for Nintendo. I know the Wholesome Direct that they're doing on Saturday. Um, a lot of those games they get wish lists on Steam. They come up off of PC, but part of those games also come for Switch.
mhm.
Also, and we got the Tribeca Games Fest, so some of those games might be coming out for Switch. Um, I think the only thing that we don't know if Microsoft is going to show any kind of content that's a possibility coming into other platforms, including Switch.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm actually shocked they haven't done more. Because they had all those commercials, right, of like Xbox and Switch, like Minecraft and all these Ori, like I mean all these other games. Like
mhm.
I'm shocked that they haven't like really done more. Like I'm shocked like Battletoads, for instance, didn't come over, right? Like that seems like a home run in my opinion. Uh I don't know, man. I'm hoping that Microsoft will bring some games over because I think that I don't know. I think if they want to like really push that you can play anywhere, right? I think
Yeah.
that's the that would be the move. But also, there's the rumor that they're going to bring the cloud version of Game Pass to Switch, and then like a curated version to the next console. That rumor's been floating around on a few podcasts that I listen to.
I have a feeling that Hi-Fi Rush is going to come to their next platform.
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/BossRushMedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
I feel like that is a... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I had a thought about that too, where like it would come to Switch in some capacity. But I don't know, man. I mean, that game looks like it would be fun, like to take with you. I feel like people would enjoy that, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the physical sales definitely would be there for it. You know, with some nice box art, maybe a soundtrack code or something like that. I really feel like Microsoft could make some money off of physical, off of Switch. And maybe it does come out still at the $40 price point, or maybe it has to be $50 because of that's just the way the economy or whatever media they choose to do. But I literally could see it coming out for Switch in that kind of form, and people get it to at least maybe 500,000 copies or even 1 million and everything. And people just like, well, I didn't buy it or play it because I don't have an Xbox or I didn't want to play it on PC. But I'm like, this game is on Switch. It's going to probably be a collector's item. Microsoft was publishing it. Yeah, let me get it.
Yeah. So, you know, I just I really think I feel like there's a lot of opportunity. I don't want to say cheap opportunities because I think that's kind of like the wrong thing, but I really think there's a lot of opportunity for Nintendo to extend the life of the Switch without compromising, you know, costs, especially if they're going to start doing the their next console and stuff like that, you know. So,
yeah. And I think Nintendo's just in a research and development kind of idea for the next console right now. Like just getting ideas, seeing what will work and everything, because definitely nobody knows any dev kits. Like they're not going to be sending that out. You know, I think once they get once they finalize stuff for their next console, I think they'll start working on dev kits to get out for people to start making games for it or porting games to it.
Well, I mean, the dev kits are probably mostly almost already done, right? I mean, I think what they want to do is they want to keep this new console as close to the vest as possible, right?
Yeah.
So they don't like, I don't like leak anything, or, you know, I don't think Nintendo, I think they want to keep it as much of a secret as possible, right? Until, because like once the dev kits get out there, everything, you know, all bets are off, right? Everybody's going to start leaking stuff. You're going to have Jason Schreier reports. You're going to have, you know, Jeff Grubb and Tom Warren and, you know, all these people reporting on all these. And so I think they want to avoid that as much as possible. And yeah. So
yeah. And I think that's why we probably for this year won't see a Nintendo Direct. We may see something in July, probably. We may see something in August. Because you know when their next console come out, that Direct is going to be huge.
yeah.
Even if they do what they did with the Switch, with like when it was in Japan and everything, and they were showing stuff off for there, people are going to be watching it. That Nintendo Direct for their next console is super important. And I don't think it's important because of the games. I think it's important because of the system itself. Like what are you going to do? Is it going to have backwards compatibility? Are you still going to be region free? Like, is stuff going to be carrying over? How does cloud play with this? Did you guys fix the Joy-Con drift, or what's the controller like? I think they're really going to be focused on a lot of cool technical aspects of their next console, and then the games will roll out.
I still think that I still honestly still think their next console is going to be just another Switch, but more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that. I mean, we talked about it before, right? This is a very conservative Nintendo, right? This isn't a Wada Reggie. Let's try new things. Let's be bold and be different, right? Where like the Switch works because it's I mean, I think we've always said this ever since the Switch came out, really, right? We were like, the Switch is just the Wii U backwards, right? Where like they had the right idea with the Wii U, right? They just need to
Yes.
put the guts in the controller, and obviously like the dual screen stuff, whatever. That was a whole, they wanted to try to capitalize off the DS success and everything, and maybe try to replicate that on the TV, whatever. My point is like they really hit the nail on the head with the Switch, and obviously that I think that was just the continuation of Iwata's idea until he passed away, right? But I think Nintendo is in a position where they're going to be very conservative, and that them being conservative is going to lead to the Apple idea of like, we're just going to make an iteration of the Switch. We're going to maybe attach a 2 to it, or some sort of word to distinct it from, kind of like the new 3DS. Please don't use the word new. Just like, to indicate that it's a new thing. It's backwards compatible with the Switch games, but anything here from here on out, won't be backwards compatible. And I think that's where I think it might have the Game Boy Color effect, actually, where like, yes, you could play some Game Boy Color games on the Game Boy Pocket, but the ones in the green cartridges had to be played on a Game Boy Color type thing, right? So
Yes.
like, and that's where our Metroid Prime 4 conversation from a couple weeks ago comes into play, where like maybe it's the Game Boy Color effect, where like, oh, the black cartridge on the Game Boy Color games you can play on a regular, right, Game Boy, and maybe the cartridges for the next Switch are red, but the white cartridges you can play on both consoles, right? And so that way you maintain your current fan base for a little bit. You get your hardcore fans in the door with a new console, and then you could kind of grow your library from there and be like, okay, here's the cutoff, here's the, whatever, that we are now no longer supporting the Switch or whatever, and then you just move on. So
Yeah, because I think the end of the Switch. I think by the time their new console comes out, they'll probably phase that out when their last game comes out. So after their
well,
last game comes out, I mean, even though they kind of phased the Wii U a bit early, they still had Zelda. So it was kind of just like anyone looking for a Wii U, it was going to be hard because the Switches were coming in and stuff, and everybody was expecting, well, we still got to put this out for our old console because that's the base game. But we're going to offer it also for those who do get a Switch. And I know I said that with not Metal Gear, with Metroid Prime 4 not being cross-gen, if it is going to be cross-gen, then we have to know if that system or the Switch system is coming to an end. Like if they said we're not going to be producing it because we're releasing our new console, then I could see it being cross-gen. Because I didn't expect Breath of the Wild to be cross-gen until they announced that it was going to be cross-gen. Like when they even when they showed it on Switch, with the fresh trailer, that's when we found out it was going to be cross gen.
Man, how crazy would that? How? I mean, it's easy to look back on it now and be like, how crazy would it have been if the Switch never, had Breath of the Wild? But like,
Mm-hmm.
how dumb would that have been if they didn't release Breath of the Wild on the Switch? I feel like that would have been just. It would have been a game. That game was a game changer for the Switch. That game, because
Yes.
nobody had that game. Man, the fact that I don't even want to think about that. It's so nuts.
But even if you think about it, what was going to replace it? Because the only thing, like, surprisingly, Mario Kart 8 would have been the release game for Switch.
Yeah,
Because that's literally Nintendo's, that was literally Nintendo's biggest game, or next game for it. So I think
yeah,
because they phased out the Wii U so early, they had to offer Breath of the Wild.
yeah.
Like, and even if people, I think Breath of the Wild was something like, even outside of the reviews, that game was attachment rate for getting a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and people who bought that version, even if they didn't have the Switch and got the Wii U version, they knew that once they get that system, they're just gonna, yeah, they'll restart everything, but they now know what to do, and then they'll play. And then just look at all the first party games that has been rolling out for Nintendo and everything. And I wonder when that Nintendo Direct for their next console, is it going to be that same thing? Is it going to be a first party game every, every month or every other month? Because right now, Mario is probably in the works for their next console. Now, that's the one I could
Mm-hmm.
see that could be cross gen.
See, my thing is, you want Mario. I mean, yeah, I think anything that comes out within that release window could be cross-platform, cross-gen,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I think you truly could do that, but I think the smart play would do it, at least make one of them exclusive. Whether I mean, I
Yeah.
still think Metroid Prime 4 is the cross-gen game because they already announced it for Switch, and I think Nintendo. I mean, this is the Wii U situation a little bit, right? Where like
Yeah.
they already announced Breath of the Wild for Wii U, and they kind of had to keep that promise, which is why like all the touchscreen stuff was taken out, just so they could be on par with each other. Uh, so I think Metroid Prime would be the cross gen, but I think it would be super smart to launch with whatever's next for that Odyssey team. I'm still under the impression it might be Donkey Kong, but it could also be a follow up to Odyssey, obviously. And I think that the
Mm-hmm.
smart thing to do, I think, to get people in the door to that new console would be to release the Mario game, because you already have 3 major Mario games on the Switch, right? You have Mario 3D World, Odyssey, I guess Bowser's Fury also sort of counts, and
Yeah.
then the
This,
New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, right? So
right.
you kind of
And then
have
you
that,
have, but you also have Mario Maker 2.
right?
You got the Mario game.
Yeah,
Uh, there was another Mario. The Mario, Paper Mario Origami King. Like, you, Mario Kart. You got some Mario stuff for that. Even with the
you
sports
got
and
enough
stuff.
Mario Kart. You got enough, or you have enough Mario on the Switch, right? I mean, you got
Right.
enough uh,
Right.
to
So
to yeah.
yeah. So I agree with you. I think Mario is going to be back in its rightful place of being the game to launch their next platform and
It'd be
everything.
even it'd be smarter is if they bundled it.
That's
And
now
I know
I
that's probably an unpopular opinion, but I
so
think
but Corey, I if they bundled it, a $449 next gen Switch or next gen Nintendo console, I'm down to buy. I'm down to pay for it.
mhm. I mean,
I,
I think it's time for Nintendo to. I mean, the PlayStation and the Xbox are $500 a piece, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think Nintendo could probably get away with a $400 console, although I think Nintendo would like to keep it at the 350 range just to be, you know, competitive in that sense, because
Yeah.
it's not as powerful. It's not going to be as powerful. Um, I just think they are comfortable in that $350 range, and I think the OLED Switch was that test bed, to be honest, of like, hey, we are going to release a console at $350. Hopefully, people buy it. It's not as powerful as the Xbox Series S, but
Yes.
it's Nintendo, and they view themselves as a premium product. And uh, I think that was the test bed for 350. I think the next console is going to be 350. And I think the smart thing to do would be to bundle it with the Mario game. Uh,
Oh yeah.
I think that would
Did
be
we do?
awesome.
Did we do a digital copy, or would it
Probably
not matter?
in the box digital probably. And I
Mm-hmm.
bet I mean, man, I don't know. I actually don't know at this point because like the bundles now come with digital copies, right? So
Yeah, for some games,
although
yeah.
although I don't know if Nintendo really does bundles anymore, right?
So
They did the Mario Kart one, which is what? That is that a digital copy of Mario Kart?
digital copy, yeah. So they only do bundles during Thanksgiving for Black Friday. All their other special edition systems is just that design and that design in the console, because the Zelda one came out before Tears of the Kingdom. There's the one for Splatoon. They did the same thing. They dropped that one before the game came out. So they don't put any physical or digital games in those special editions, but they will do something for the bundle when it's Black Friday and
Right.
everything. So if we see like if they said they want to do like a Metroid Prime one, they may do like a Metroid Prime remaster edition for Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Which would probably that would be interesting
That'd be a great
to
bundle,
get more sales.
especially I think that would be smart, especially if you're going to release the other two remasters this
Oh
year.
heck yeah!
You bundle Metroid Prime remastered, and then that'll encourage the people to buy the other two games. I think that'd be super
Mm-hmm.
smart. I mean,
Yeah,
because I think you've already squeezed all the blood from the stone on Mario Kart at this point. I think
shoot.
you gotta change it up, guys. It's been
I,
5 years plus.
could you literally see that game hitting 70 million?
What, Mario Kart?
Yeah, Mario
Well,
Kart
yeah,
8 hitting
yeah.
70 million
I mean, NPD doesn't report digital sales, right?
digital,
So,
right?
and
But it
I've
was
bought
like
it
at what I
twice
think.
because I have the physical and the digital. So, you know,
I just have the digital. I may have to get the physical just in case. Uh, which then ends up bringing, and see, I think that's why a Nintendo Direct is so important, because I
yeah,
think the Nintendo Direct in the future, I should say, not the Nintendo Direct of now or anything.
hmm
The future is going to be important, because I'm like, when they, once again, Corey, out of the blue, if they drop the trailer for their next console, whatever me and you are doing, we got to talk about it. Like, we got to find some way to get on and record something. Like, we got to discuss it, because dropping something that hot, and we're missing it, or we're just like, wait, they did what? That's going to steal a lot of the entertainment news. That's something Sony and Microsoft do not want. Like, and I think they literally are preparing for that day. If they find out something that Nintendo is secretly going to be doing or anticipating to do, Microsoft and Sony's going to be like, okay, we need something to counter it. Because
hmm
like, if that's going to take the focus away from what we're doing, we need to intercept that
yeah,
and everything.
I agree. So,
Because man, because I I don't know, we kind of jumped around, but I'm like, that the power, like I said, the power that the Nintendo Direct has changed how we get our game news and how we just view companies, definitely with Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I think I think Nintendo is in a really good position and yet a really awkward position. Uh, just because I think like they obviously, I think you're going to get a lot of things like Kirby and Pikmin now, right? And
Yes.
maybe I don't know. I would love to see a new 2D Donkey Kong game at some point, but like you're going to see these smaller games come out, and are you really going to drag that out for another year and a half? So like, I don't know. I hope they have like one or two more AAA games up their sleeves, but and a lot of people are saying like Zelda's it, Zelda's it. I'm like, I don't think so. If you're really
I
going to
don't
try
think
to
so.
push this to March of 2025, like a lot of people are saying, like that seems I don't know. I think that's really like weird and backwards at this point. Um,
Right. Because I think
so
Nintendo got just too much work, too much connections with a lot of companies. So if
oh
they're
yeah,
not working on something, somebody else is working on something for them.
yeah,
Definitely Bandai Namco and Platinum, they got something in their in their in their respectable companies, and we still got Monolith Soft next game, and now that's I feel
right.
like that's the cross gen game right there. That's the cross
No,
gen game right there.
no, dude, that game. I mean, no, Xenoblade is big enough that it gave the Switch a hard time, right?
Mm,
I think Monolith's game might be like the a launch window game for the next console.
I could see that.
I think it. I mean, we're talking. Remember that concept art of the girl with the red hair that we talked about? Oh, gosh, a long time ago on an old episode of our
Yeah.
old expansion pass episodes. Like,
Yes.
man, I wonder. I wonder what that's going to be because they have 4 teams, right? Obviously, one was for you know asset stuff for Tears of the Kingdom. One was obviously Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and that DLC. Like, what are these other teams working on? I mean, and obviously there's a lot of crossover between the teams, and there's a lot of leadership, moving between the teams. But like, I don't know. I still think that there's another RPG coming, and another massive, maybe open worldish RPG from them that has nothing to do with
Mm-hmm.
Xenoblade. I mean, maybe it's connected to Xenoblade somehow because all their games are
Yeah.
connected. But
Because I feel like Xenoblade 4, that's next gen.
yeah,
That's just straight next gen. And because everybody feels like definitely with the DLC that's just dropped and the way that it finished it, where the people who finish it, which I haven't heard much. I mean, people did play, but they were just like they don't want to spoil anything. They really think that that is leading up to Xenoblade 4, and it wouldn't make sense to put that game on Switch. I just think that I think for their Swan Song, that intro game, that's why I feel like their new one could be the possibility of the cross gen, getting that cross gen thing. Um,
mm-hmm.
Unless it's the same thing like you guys did with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where it's the December release after the system has been way out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we always talk about. I mean, we've been talking about like place. We don't know if PlayStation has. PlayStation doesn't have a roadmap. Xbox has announced games, but at the time of this recording, we don't know the roadmap. Obviously, we will
Mm-hmm.
by the time this episode comes out. But like, Nintendo really doesn't have a roadmap now either, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they usually keep. So that's why I think that we're going to see something soon. Especially because like, man, I don't know, man.
Well, and I think that's why all the level 5, because I think Nintendo's probably be somewhat publishing it. I think because of their next big, there's if I think about it, in a sense, like after Pikmin 4, if it's nothing Metroid, it has to be Professor Layton. Professor Layton is the only one because Nintendo published most of those games on their console. So they're going to
Mhm.
treat that as like a a first party release. It has to be because yeah, I understand that they don't have no roadmap, but Gamescom has to have something to do it. I mean, they literally have to have something after July because after
Mhm.
July is what Sea of Stars in August, like, and that's an indie game. I'm like, we need to see something because is indie games going to be carrying the Switch? Is third party imports going to be carrying the Switch? Like, I think Beta Kados is Nintendo's publishing it. I don't know. Um, is that going to be considered as a big game? Because like if Microsoft really hits it out with their presentation, focus going to be on their games. They have a chance to kill during the fall holiday with Starfield, with Forza Horizon, with Hellblade 2, probably with Contraband, or you know whatever they decide they want to. Like even games like stuff like Hi-Fi Rush, like they may have some secret games and stuff. The game from
Mhm.
Don't Not that we don't know about that they're working on, like. They literally could just drop some hot stuff from the fall of winter.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, I think Nintendo, we always underestimate Nintendo and we always
Mm-hmm.
overestimate Nintendo. I think, I mean, here's the thing too is like Capcom has their thing coming up, which I still think Mega Man 12 is going to be announced there. Uh, we have Summer Game Fest, which I'm sure a lot of Switch games will be announced. There's a lot of filler stuff, right? There's a ton of filler
Yes.
stuff. We just need to know what the one or two big games coming out. And I'm still of the opinion that there's going to be another Pokemon something this fall. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's going to be a Let's Go Silver and Gold something, uh, in my opinion, or something along those lines. Just because, like, the funny thing is like my daughter is like really into Pokemon right now, and like the Let's Go games
Oh.
are like right up her alley right now. Like I downloaded the demo of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and she's like kind of really playing them a lot. Uh, just kind of walking around the forest and catching caterpies. And her favorite Pokemon right now is Butterfree. So
Oh.
yeah, well, she likes butterflies, and oh, also she loves Ponyta and Ninetales. So I've been letting her look at my old player's guide from Game Boy, and like there's a Pokedex in the back, and she's just been looking at them and you know uh, really just looking at them. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, it's we'll see. We will literally see because yeah, just like literally after Pikmin, we don't know. We
yeah.
we don't know. Like, and I think Nintendo likes it that way that we don't know.
hmm
So that when they do bring stuff out, it's a big surprise.
Yeah. So here's my
Okay.
new prediction, and this could be totally out of date by the time this episode comes out. Right. But my prediction, sorry, my prediction is that they're going to do game specific directs, right? Pikmin, maybe an
Mm-hmm.
everybody want to switch something, maybe. I hope not, but whatever. A partner showcase. I bet they do. And they'll do small things throughout August, and then we'll get a really big direct in September.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I can
I
see that.
mean, like they did during the pandemic year, right? When they did all those little mini, because like remember, Paper Mario was announced and out within like 3 months,
Is it,
right?
yeah, because
So
they literally dropped the commercial. I'm just like, dude, I'm like, wait, what? Huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean I think that's probably what they're
I
gonna
you
do.
know what? I agree with you with that, Corey. I'm right up with you on this one.
Yeah. So we'll see, I guess. But
Because I think a September direct is, I think it's what's needed, probably
yeah.
what's needed. Because I think you'd be able to carry the fall, and what we normally get the end of the year direct in what November, December, a little bit. So one of those
Yeah.
to lead it
I
to, I
still
think to
think.
lead it to 2024.
Yeah, I still think that. I still think that Metroid Prime 4 is going to show up at the Game Awards. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I wonder if that's. Man, I'm trying to think. Man, Nintendo's so hard to predict.
It is. See, and I think Keely really needs Nintendo for his Game Awards.
Well, I don't think so. Nintendo hasn't really been there in the last couple of years. I think.
And you see how everybody has been reacting to some of the shows. That's why I'm saying, I'm like,
well, people want them to be about the awards and not the announcements. But I'm like, I only watch the Game Awards because there's announcements. So good luck.
Look, we all stuck around when outside, like when they announced that the Marvel game that was coming to Switch, Ultimate Alliance 3 was dropping. When that dropped, everybody was like, wait a minute, what?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody stood around to see, okay, what do you guys got up your hands? Because people were talking about that, and they stayed on to watching that show until they seen that Smash was getting a character, and here it is, Joker from Persona 5. And then all the rumors of Persona 5 coming to Switch. But people stuck around and was talking about the show because of those two trailers, mostly.
Yeah,
So if Keely could secure Metroid Prime 4 gameplay release dates, people are going to be like, okay, yeah, that's it. Because I'm sorry, Kojima. I know Keely is your biggest fan and stuff. I don't think that would even move a needle compared to a Metroid Prime 4 was being shown. Mm-hmm. Or if Mercury Steam is doing another Metroid or a remake.
I bet that's the game that gets a announcement / release like Paper Mario. I wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I mean, I don't know if they would release 2 Metroid games in the same year, but I feel like that would be the one they would do it with.
So I don't think it would be like Metroid 6. I think it would. Shoot, I could probably see them do Zero Mission.
Yeah,
or maybe, Super Metroid, or a Super Metroid remake, because that's the one that needs to be touchable.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see it going either way, honestly. So we'll see, I guess.
Well, Corey, I think we could call it a wrap. We're definitely going to be watching all of these showcases. I'm excited to see what is going to be coming out this month, and maybe we get something in July and August. I agree with you. I think we get a Nintendo Direct in September for it. And before we go, everybody, I literally was just thinking about this, Corey. I want to see more of Marathon from Bungie. I'm very curious now on how that game is going to look. Not so much play, but look.
Yeah, Marathon's going to be awesome. It's only PvP though, or PvPvE, I guess, but
which is fine. But I literally want to see. I'm like, okay, Bungie, is this going to be at 60 frames? Is it going to be a different art style? I'm very curious on what it's going to do. Well, what you guys are going to do.
It's probably, judging by Destiny, it's probably going to have 120 frames a second mode and a 60 frames a second mode, and it won't dip anywhere below that.
Okay.
So, I mean, because Destiny runs at 1440p and 60 frames on the Series S, so that's where we're at.
Is it one? No, it's not 120 on Series X, or is it? No, I think it's 60.
No, it's 120 in PvP.
on Destiny on Series X.
Series X, yeah, and PlayStation 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be interesting for the next gen. That would be crazy. Nintendo's next gen console in Marathon is part of the release launch.
I mean, I would. Well, Marathon's not coming out till I guess by the time. Yeah, I don't know. I think next year is so. Sorry, not to get too off topic here, but next year is the final shape for Destiny.
Yes.
And I think whatever's between the final shape for Destiny 2 and whatever, if it's Destiny 3 or if it's the next expansion, I bet they take a year off from a major expansion for Destiny. And Marathon will release in the window that Destiny released in.
I know there's some. Okay, I know there is some the DLC expansion stuff that I still need to buy for Destiny and go through it and play.
Did you even play the last 5?
I have it. I need to sit down and play. I literally was trying to play the new campaign that they replaced the game with.
Why would you start with
Look, you want to text me the roadmap on what to do.
I mean, I could, yes, but Destiny has changed so much in the last year, right? Like I started a Warlock the other day, and I hate the new light experience, and they made it even worse now. So, I mean, it's so hard to get into Destiny right now. I mean, I guess if you haven't played the new light experience, whatever, it takes an hour to get through the tutorial stuff, but like, man, that whole thing is just rough.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just starting a new character so I can do the new campaign, and everything. And then when I get to where the DLC stuff is at, I'll just continue from my old character. But everybody, if you want to hear more of this, check out Towers Casual. Great show, great podcast for all you Destiny fans. But with that, everybody, we're gonna wrap it up because man, it could be a Tuesday. By the time you guys see this, Nintendo may have announced something. We don't know. We know they just announced they announced 4 new stuff for NSO. So you guys could go check that out. They announced Kirby Tilt and Tumble for Game Boy Color, Harvest Moon for Super Nintendo, Mystery Tower for the NES, and Blaster Master Enemy Below for Game Boy Color. So we got 3 games. We still have NSO for N64 and Game Boy Advance. Games that they could be announcing, and the Sega Genesis.
Well, that's another thing we didn't talk about either. Is like they could totally start bringing over GameCube or Dreamcast or TurboGrafx or Saturn stuff.
Yeah.
Although Saturn emulation is like super terrible, so I don't know if they would do that or not. But like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. I don't know. Help me, get me out of here,
dude. Before we go, Saturn would be Saturn would create some discussions about that if they drop that in the September Direct for the NSO.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, do they drop it before a new console though? I do. I'm not for some Saturn. Trust me. There's a lot of games on that system I have not played, so there'd be new experience.
I played the original Tomb Raider on Saturn, and Madden, and Soccer, and Hook, and I was done. So speaking of, Metroid Prime 4 is trending on Twitter for some reason. I mean, I don't know why, but it is.
Mega Man is trending on my side. So,
I mean,
for the Capcom one, it's a Mega Man sale. That's right, on the eShop.
Yeah. I mean, Mega
But
Mega Man's getting announced. I'm calling it. I think Mega Man 12 is getting announced.
I think Monster Hunter 6 is getting announced. Because the DLC for Rise, or the next content for Rise has got to be announced. That's their final one, and I think Monster Hunter 6 is going to be coming out. I just don't think Nintendo's going to get it. I think it's going to be PlayStation 5 and Series XS exclusive. I know Exo Primal is going to be shown because that comes out this month. Probably Street Fighter 6. Other than that, there might be some arcade classics that might be dropping. There's going to be something Resident Evil related. I know that much. But that's all I could guess at this time. So it'd be interesting to see. I know we did touch on that $3,500 visor for Apple, whatever that thing is.
Their new spatial computer, which is also a VR and AR headset. It looks pretty cool, actually. I was watching the videos and stuff. I think the idea of it is super cool, but man, $3,500 is a big chunk of money. It's not a gaming headset. It's literally a spatial computer, which is like anything you can do on your desktop or your phone or your iPad, you can do in this thing. It seems pretty cool. I'm a big Apple person. We're recording on one right now, so I mean, it's not like, not that it matters. We're actually using Google Chrome, so it really doesn't matter. But you know what I mean? Like, I prefer the Apple ecosystem, and my computer cost a pretty penny, but like, I can't justify that for a headset, especially when I have a PlayStation 5. I could buy a PSVR 2. The Oculus Quest 3 was just announced. I could buy or Meta Quest 3. Sorry.
I fell asleep. Like I said, I fell asleep during the presentation. I couldn't.
So, I mean, there's interesting things, but yeah.
With that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time on Nintendo Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Nintendo Expansion Pass is part of Nintendo Power Block and is a product of Boss Rush Media LLC. The show is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio, and is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-host is Corey Dirrig. You can find Corey at I Am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting the Boss Rush Podcast and Tower Casuals, the Destiny Podcast. Follow Expansion Pass as part of Nintendo Power Block and on all social media platforms at Power Block Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.